Not long now until the lights go green for the Mexico Grand Prix qualifying. So let's get ready and see who has that pole position winning performance in them this afternoon.
Hello everyone, my name is Nunu. Today we're back with F1 2018 going rid of the Mexican Grand Prix in season number 2 with McLaren as always. Actually the last 3 races for McLaren we're jumping into right now. So let's end this season on a high as we're about to get in, as we're actually right in qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix. We're going to speed over the first half of the session. We want 2 tries, and if we go for 3 in every single qualifying session, we might use up the engine too much and get some grid place penalties, which would be an absolute disaster here at the end of the season. And actually, talking about grid place penalties, we have a 10 grid place penalty for this race for changing some engine components last race. You saw that in the last episode. If you saw that in Austin, where eventually we actually rounded up the Constructors' Championship. So make sure to check them one out if you haven't. Coming over the line, it is going to be only 10th place at the moment, which is absolutely disappointing. Thinking about that, we have the best car on the grid, almost matched up by Red Bull. They have really done well here at the end of the season to catch up on development there. But coming out for a second push lap, the first one was pretty much just a banker lap. But coming out to a second push lap, we actually get a little bit of slipstream there from Esteban Ocon here. It actually gives us a little 2/10 or something, but I think it gave us like 10 kilometers per hour at the end of the straight there. But which means I run so deep into the first corner because I didn't think about it. I had so much speed right there. So you can see Fernando Alonso takes the fastest lap at the moment. If we manage to be there, we are going to be on pole. We just take a cone with us right there because why not? But you can see we're actually 8/10 up, and right here I throw away around 2/10. Crossing the line there, it is going to be second place. Guess who's on pole position? Yes, you guessed it right. It is Fernando Alonso. And it is by 2/10, which was what I threw away in the last corner. So we could have got pole if we just did that one right, but unfortunately we didn't. Second place is fine enough, but guess what? We're not going to be second place. We're going to start in 12th place because we have a 10 place grid penalty. So we want to see how good of a comeback we can kind of make in the race. Let's talk about the race. Let's get into the Mexican Grand Prix here in Mexico.
Formula One may have been absent from Mexico for 23 years, but after 2015's triumphant return, it was as if we'd never been away. In Mexico, a Grand Prix is more than just a race. It's a celebration of speed and of bravery. There's nothing quite like the atmosphere in the stadium today. They'll be drowning out the cars with their noise as they make their way through on lap 1.
Alright, so here we are on the grid for the Mexican Grand Prix. You can see we have a free child choice in the start. We're going to go for the Hypersoft to the Ultrasoft. We want an aggressive first stint so we can make up a lot of positions. And if we would be on Ultrasofts, we would have no grip against everyone else and we would just fall back at the grid. As we are on for 5 lights, and it's lights out, and we're underway for 18 laps around the Mexican circuit. You can see Ocon gets up to an absolute banger of a start right there, gets onto Bottas instantly. We have the slipstream right behind Kimi Raikkonen. We get off to a pretty decent start, but not too good as Raikkonen there. He pulls to the inside. We go for a massive dive bomb there down the inside. Wasn't even supposed to happen. Actually, it wasn't on purpose, but I would have rammed straight into Valtteri Bottas there if we didn't do that. And there, Ocon there makes contact with Lewis Hamilton there, spins around, which gives him a bad exit and manages to get up into 6th place from 12th on the grid. We made up 6th position in the first 3 or 4 corners, which is an absolutely insane comeback drive already. If we could keep this one home, it would be better. I expect to maybe get a podium. Yes, I expect to get a podium. We have the best car on the grid by such a margin that is absolutely insane. I mean, we could drive in fuel conservative mode, and we would still be in the lead. Alonso would be there, of course. But going through the SS section, we get a little bit loose there, which we don't want to do because that could be eventually throw your car all the way. Just make a bit of a simple overtake there and Lewis Hamilton there. So at the moment it is the home hero of Sergio Perez, who's actually leading the race in that Force India, that has also been very, very good at developing. But the drivers must pull out something in that car. I think it's only the fourth best on grid. So for Sergio Perez to be leading, he must have some kind of talent at least. He couldn't be first on the grid. But you can see we move all the way over to the right side to to break the toe on Lewis Hamilton right there. You can actually see in front of us Fernando Alonso trying to make up some positions right here at the start of the race on one of the Red Bulls there, so he can get into second place. He gets the move done, and into second place he goes. So it's a podium for him at the moment. Now it's just time for us to not mess it up. We would still be in the championship if we keep this position, or would we? I don't really remember. I think it would be around equal, but you can see there Fernando and the Red Bull battling it out for position right there, which is eventually going to slow them down. And in a long train, they're going around here the insane stadium section, and you can actually see in the next lap we have the slipstream here. It wasn't any intention to dive bomb him, but we break so much later than him. So sometimes you just need to lick a stab and send it. I messed that one up so badly. I'm sorry guys, but that wasn't even supposed to happen. I got a bit of a rear heavy end when I braked into there, so eventually we got the overtake on him. And now Alonso, our teammate, already on lap number 5. We have the slipstream and the DRS, so we just cruise past him with 340 kilometers per hour down the long, very, very long start-finish straight right there. Well, that was a very, very nice thing. We run very, very deep into the first corner because we wanted to brake late. So now we're actually in front of our teammates. So on lap number 5, that's an insane comeback drive from 12 on the grid at the moment, but he's keeping close. Fernando Alonso's keeping close right behind us. Ricciardo's kind of sticking away in front of us, but if Alonso's this close that he is right now, out of the last corner, he'll surely be in front by the time we get to the first corner on lap number 7. And talking about lap number 7, we were actually supposed to come into the pits on lap number 6, but we come into the pits on lap number 7, hoping that Fernando Alonso is not going to go in, but he's right behind us. Fernando Alonso is right behind us, going into the pits, which means we're going to hold him up in the pit box, which is, oh my good, that's gotta be one that's gotta be talked about for the rest of the season. We're holding it up in the pit box, which makes him lose positions. And we're the closest championship fight ever. Every single point counts. So that one gotta be talked about right after the race. Gotta be discussed. It wasn't on purpose. So maybe maybe it's kind of that style. And back in 2010 on Hockenheim, where they'll ask Fernando Alonso if it was kind of a dirty win, and if we win the championship, a dirty championship. Maybe they'll ask us that after the race. Of course, Claire's not going to do that, but if you haven't seen it, it's the press conference interview after the 2010 German Grand Prix, where they just said Fernando's faster than you, all that controversy there. That might be a dirty championship, and I felt so bad at the moment. I gotta be honest here. I felt so bad for just holding up Alonso. That might just be the championship won in the most sturdy way. And I was like, yo, do I need to let Alonso pass back here? But I was like, no, this is my championship. This is maybe our time to get that championship. But Fernando Alonso's doing an okay job of keeping up right there. He's not collapsing together or anything, getting a mind blow. Of course, he is an AI. I know that. I just like to kind of make it a little bit more exciting. So kind of like you have downs and ups and all that. But we're basically just cruising around behind Ricciardo, maybe waiting to get in a good attempt down the long start finish straight, but you can see he's just too far ahead for us to get the DRS. So we actually have a bit of a yellow flag right there. I think it's one of the Haas who has pulled out right after turn 3 here. Yes, you can see on board from the Williams there. I think it is Roman Grosjean. Roman Grosjean is out of the race because of a mechanical failure. So that is one DNF here. We have a virtual safety car. It is not too long. The virtual safety car is only for like half a lap or something, but you can see here as we're coming down to after turn 3, you can see they're out in the side. You can just spot out in the distance there the Haas of Roman Grosjean, who's pulled out to the side with a very, very sad way to end this race on. Here you can see, look at his right front tire. This is Sebastian Vettel's right front tire. You can see it just blows up through the S section, so he's going very slow, and he's actually holding up a couple of cars there. So now it's just time for him to get out of the way, so everyone could get past him safely, because you know these AIs sometimes can be very, 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 very stupid. As their Red Bulls gets very close. Oh my goodness! Kevin Magnussen just absolutely rammed Sebastian Vettel's right front wheel. Here we have some onboards from him there. So not only a puncture, but also a DNF because of that thing. He was also parked in the middle of the circuit. So not to blame anything. Here you can see we're good part into the race, but Lewis Hamilton's holding on, but absolute massive train right behind him. Fernando Alonso, we're in front of this train, quite a far away in front of this team. And here you can see Daniel Ricciardo actually there going very, very slow, which I doubt that is a good thing. His engine just lets go again, which, I mean, this is getting ridiculous. I think he's very, very, very mad. I think he's at least 10 retirements because of that engine right now. But you could actually see, if you go back and look at the onboard from us, I didn't see him. We were almost about to crash straight into the back of him. You can see there he holds. Fernando Alonso here is actually trying to make up a position on the Force India of Esteban Ocon, and he has. And up into, I don't actually know where this is. This is 2 positions behind us. So now it's only Hamilton that separates me and Lewis Hamilton. So he's in 4th place at the moment. Perez is absolutely dominating this race, and if Alonso can get past Lewis Hamilton, it is going to be a double podium for McLaren, which would be quite a good thing. And you can see down the long straight, he is actually going to the outside move for the last podium place. He's going for the outside moves with turns to the inside, but Lewis Hamilton's doing a great job of sticking his nose right in there. As they're coming down the long straight. It is a question of whoever has the DRS. It is Fernando Alonso who has the DRS, so he'll have more straight line speed. As well as the McLaren power unit, which is better than the Mercedes power unit, which is a weird thing to say, but this is almost like the 2017 version, with Fernando Alonso and a McLaren defending from Lewis Hamilton in a Mercedes, just the other way around. This time it's Fernando Alonso trying to overtake Lewis Hamilton, so kind of a race recreation just with some new cars. Kind of a funny thing there, but you can see Lewis Hamilton goes back at him, so it's a very, very awesome battle these two guys are having at the moment. At the dying laps of the Grand Prix, I think we only have 1 or 2 laps left. Right here at the moment, so they're still battling it out. That wasn't the last lap. I think it was the 17th lap of the race, but Lewis Hamilton stays in front. You can see going into the stadium section, some stunning shots of all that Mexican smoke coming up here. So we're taking a look at us. We're only in 2nd place, but it is the home hero of Sergio Perez who takes home a surprising victory. Absolutely insane performance from him there. He must be driver of the day, as he comes home to take what is a very, very surprising victory. What if he could do that in real life? That would be an absolutely insane thing. But Fernando Alonso down at 4th place, a very, very controversial 4th place, or for us maybe more controversial podium. A dirty podium, maybe you will call that, because we held him up massively in the pits, which eventually cost him quite a lot of points in the driver's standings. So we only have 2 rounds remaining now. We could potentially pick up the driver's championship in the next round if we are very, very, very good driven in the next round. You can see we're leading by 10 points. There's still 50 points up for grab in the 2 last rounds. So we just have to get 40 points in the last 2 rounds for us to win the driver championship, pretty sure. But you can see there, we're just gonna give him a bit of sportsmanship to Claire, kind of just to puff him, say, yo, yeah, it wasn't on purpose, Alonso. I still know there's still AIs, okay? Whatever, I care shit. But oh well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe, turn on notifications so you know whenever I upload a new video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.